Hello, welcome to DNA Hardwired, common sense turned upside down. My name is Pop, and with me are my co-hosts, Jackie and Michael. Our other co-host, Jonathan, he won't be joining us today. He had something else going on. Thank you for joining us for another exciting episode on common sense turned upside down. Our last few episodes, we've been dealing with politics, President Donald Trump's election, homelessness. We haven't gotten to homelessness yet, but I'm sure we'll eventually get to it. We also talked on our last episode about Charlie Kirk. We'll probably talk a little bit more about him on this episode also. I would strongly encourage the listeners to listen to the previous four previous episodes on this subject in order to kind of be caught up to speed on what's going on. Okay, guys. Anything you guys want to jump in on with here? Anything that you want to say initially?
No, I'm okay right now.
Michael, you good to go? Okay.
Yes, I'm good. I'm good right now.
Jackie, you good?
Thanks, everybody for listening. Let's get to it.
All right then. And I'm old guy, so y'all gonna have to help me with this. Now, Jackie, on our last episode, I think we were talking about Charlie Kirk, and I think you said you was going to do a little research on him or something. Is that right, or did I get that wrong?
No, you're right. I had been, obviously I've listened to him periodically over the last couple of years, but I never followed.
I got you.
So I've done some research, not as much as I wanted to have done. I have a busy week. So
I got you. I understand.
I have changed my position on what I thought a little bit towards the other side.
Okay.
From a little bit of research I've done.
Okay, good. Okay, then so we'll probably get into that as we go on. Again, like I said, we're going to start off talking about Charlie Kirk. Based upon some of your follow-up research, Jackie, and some of the things you've heard, this is also for you too, Michael. Just right up front, based upon some of the things you've heard, would you classify him as a racist?
I'm not gonna give him that title yet, but what I'm learning, I'm leaning towards that.
Okay, so
based on what I think it's in defense of myself. I don't want to put that tag on it because I don't want to make an emotional decision. I want to make a logical, sound decision.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Because this is about common sense, but we like to deal with a lot of facts too. But go ahead.
And the reason being is, I don't want to get caught in the trap of being a black man, and the first thing, the default setting that we go to when we disagree with the white person is that obviously it's race. I don't want to fall in.
I got you. What about you, Michael?
Based on what I've heard, and again, I had heard some of this debate before now, so I was accustomed to you based on.
You were kind of breaking up, brother Michael. Can you say that again?
Okay. Basically, based on what I've heard, and again, he said there are some things that I agree with. So when you get to the nitty gritty, I have to label him a racist.
Okay.
And I work with people and support him. And I've always said to them, I'm humble enough to where if you show me where I'm wrong, or if you can show me anything of fact that challenge my position, then I can. But nobody.
You broke up again, brother. That last part you broke up again.
I'm sorry.
No problem.
Based upon what I've heard of research, I would go so far as to label him a racist, and I believe he knew very well what he was doing, and that's where I leave.
Okay. And all right. Okay. So let's do this right here. Um, uh, I'm gonna go over some of the statements that he's made in the past that may lead some of us to think that maybe he at least had some racist tendencies. Let's do that and then see where we come out on the other end. One of the statements that he made now, and this isn't uh, uh, lies or made up or the far left, no, these are things that actually came out of his mouth, and people verified it that he said these things. One of the things he said, we made a huge mistake, we meaning the United States of America, we made a huge mistake when we passed the Civil Rights Act in the 1960s. Now, for those of you who may not know what that is, because there's a lot of young folks out there. Matter of fact, a lot of these folks that follow Mr. Kirk, they don't know. They don't know. They don't have a clue. I don't know if they don't know because they don't care. They just wasn't taught. When Charlie made that statement, he didn't explain to them what the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was. But I'm going to explain to you what it was and what it is. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 outlawed discrimination based on race, color, and that applied to us black folk. Race, for sure, it depends on it's covering us black folks, but based on race, color, religion, sex, or national origin in employment, public accommodations, and federally funded programs. So that's what the act covered. Now, based on that, would we say that that's probably a racist statement to say or not? Jackie?
We would.
Oh, Michael. Michael, good. Okay. Michael said yes. Jackie?
I'm not going to say it again because I keep those reasons behind what I said. Because it could have been a bigger, it could actually be a more beneficial thing on the other side of that. I don't know that. That's the reason why I want the full scope of that statement.
And Jackie, brother, you are a prime example why I love having you on this show and getting your feedback, because we need to hear from other folks who may have a different take. So now, could you explain to me, to the listeners, what do you mean? What were you saying? Could be some other side to it. I don't understand that.
I mean by that, what I mean by that, see, that's the state that U.S. made a mistake in passing the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Just that statement alone, he's a racist. And if that's all I'm hearing, I am 100% in the same freaking canoe going down the same road with you.
No. Now let me back up for a second so I make sure I'm clear. I asked if that was a racist statement. I didn't say was Charlie Kirk racist because he said that. So let's be clear on this. I asked, do you think that that's a racist statement to say that?
I can't say that without knowing the reason behind why the statement is being made within the state.
Well, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Because just like I say things at times to shock value, to get your attention, then I'll come back to this is the reason why I said it. After I got to go to that point of discourse, to an argument, I'm getting loud, and then I have to go lay in that plane like this is the reason why I said it. I really want to hear why he said what when he said that. What was the follow-up statement or the discourse behind that? Why he said it, and then let me make the decision. The statement itself, if we just go about the statement itself, yes, you can't be taken to agree 100%, because now you're saying a whole race of people, group of black people in this country should not have gotten civil rights, should not have gotten equal rights. That's what that statement is saying. That may not be what's meant by it.
But just the statement
right now,
himself.
in my mind, two things can be true at the same time.
But that statement in and of itself, no matter who made it, black, white, purple, doesn't matter. But that statement in and of itself, you wouldn't necessarily classify that as a racist statement.
No.
Okay. All right. So let's look at another statement that he made. Charlie Kirk said black people were better off in slavery and subjugation before the 1940s. It was, now he did cover, he did, let me finish. He did kind of try to cover it up, but he said it was bad and it was evil, but they committed less crimes. Okay, so let me one more time. Charlie Kirk said, Charlie Kirk said black people were better off in slavery and subjugation before the 1940s. It was bad and it was evil, but they committed less crimes. Okay, go ahead. Comments.
I don't agree with his logic. I don't. Yeah.
Would you say that's a racist statement? Would you say that's a racist statement?
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. All right. Okay.
Say it again.
Yeah. Okay. I capitulate.
Okay.
That would be a racist.
Now, brother, remember what I said. I love you. I got you on here because I think you're honest. You're going to say what's on your mind. You're going to be truthful about it as best you can. And so ain't nobody going to twist your arm. We know that. We know ain't nobody going to twist my arm. Ain't nobody going to twist Michael's arm. So, but that's your thought and your opinion at this point. That particular statement might be racist.
That particular statement was a racist statement because the context is we should have stayed up under slavery. We should have stayed in bondage because they kept us from committing crime. But what about the atrocity of slavery within itself?
Right.
Now, even though it was legal, slavery was legal. What about the moral issues there?
Right.
Because after slavery, there's a whole demographic that a whole slew of normal activities that were deemed as crime. Not walking, but looking at white women, looking in the field, whipping at white women per se.
Drinking out of a white water fountain, riding in the front of a bus, sitting at a lunch counter. Go ahead.
And let me say this for the people that are listening out there. I'm saying this, and I'm saying what I'm saying. I need more information, and I'm born and raised in Mississippi. I'm born and raised in Mississippi. Let me be very clear with that. I was called the N-word numerous times on a regular basis as a kid, and it wasn't my people that shared my flesh.
Do you think they were racist?
So what now?
Do you think that those people were racist?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, all right. What about you, Mike? What do you think? What's your thoughts on that statement about black people being better off in slavery?
Oh, I'm familiar with that statement he made. I believe it when I first heard it, and I believe it now with hands down.
Okay.
There's no way you can walk that back. There's no other context you put it in to make it not racist. It's racist.
Okay, all right. So here's another statement that he made. He said black women do not have the brain processing power to be taken seriously. You have to go steal a white person's slot. Racist or not? Michael says this, he thinks it's racist. Jackie?
I don't think so.
You don't think that's
I don't think
racist?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you. Let me give context to it.
Okay.
And I can say black women out there. I just put black people. We've always been looked at as a number that was considered uneducated, considered buffoon, considered dumb. We've always had this as a statement in our community that we all know to get half the credit, you gotta be twice as good.
Right.
But we've always had to show up and show out. And I mean in a professional setting, not in the setting in that club and party. No. We always have to carry ourselves a notch above our white counterparts in the professional environment. Because we, black women, black men, we carry the weight of the race on our shoulders when we're in those rooms that we traditionally have not been.
So the question was, do you think that was a racist statement?
I don't necessarily think it was a racist statement. No.
Oh, okay. All right.
No.
And you don't think it was racist because
okay, this is gonna be controversial.
hey, that's what this whole thing is controversial. Go ahead.
All right. Okay, let's have a conversation. There's a segment, a very small segment of black women that we can put out there in a professional environment, and we are not worried about them embarrassing us. A very small segment. You can put a Kamala Harris in that room. It's not going to embarrass. On your other podcast, you can Nikki and Tammy in that room. They will not embarrass. Tammy has some friends. Tammy and Nikki got friends that you can put in that room that will not embarrass us. Now, can you go out and take the rest of the black women population with that demographic first? No, you cannot. No, you cannot.
So let me make sure I'm understanding you. Let me make sure I'm understanding you. So it sounds like, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it sounds like what you're saying is that comment about some black women not have or
it's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
For some of them, and I thought you said a small percentage of them.
Yeah, it's a small percentage.
All right, and so the majority. So you think the majority of black women that statement might apply to?
I think yes.
Okay, all right. What are your thoughts, Michael? I think you kind of saying something. What are your thoughts, Michael?
So, I think it would be fair to say the majority of black women that you encounter or dealt with that may apply to you, but you have that same concept, whether it's a Mexican woman, a white woman. We all have good and bad. Some that are fit in the room and would embarrass us, and some that we know damn well will. And those are the ones who keep out the room. Everywhere and everybody. Now, for a white man to say a black woman has less brain power, she got to steal a slot from a white woman. And I get it. I think he was talking about the DEI
yes.
program.
Yes.
It's racist.
Correct.
It's racist.
Exactly.
Because there are some, I've seen it 1,000 times. I've seen white people, women and men, on the job they ain't qualified for, but they got it because they're white.
I understand.
So to make a blanket statement and say black women have less brain processing power, a blanket statement. He didn't say some. He didn't say there are some cases. He made a blanket statement, and then he's saying it to young college children who don't know and who are impressionable. Yes, it's racist. It's to keep that power structure that you enjoy as a white male in your hands, and you want to keep that agenda going. Yes, it's racist. And
well, let me ask you this then. whose responsibility is to change the perception that we have in the marketplace? Is it on white people to change the way they see us, or is it on us? Is it on us, black men and black women, to change the way, change when we carry ourselves when we out and about? Who's their responsibility? Huh?
It's ours, 100% ours. But who? I've always wondered, even when I was a child growing up, you watch the news media and they be out in the street and they interviewing people. They'll look over the intelligent looking black person and go to the one on the street that look a certain way, and they get the response they want. Why? Because they want to keep the agenda out there that black people are ignorant, we're animals, and we don't really matter. So when we get gunned down, we get shot down, we get looked over, nobody gives a damn, nobody cries out, because the world now thinks that we're unworthy. That agenda has been at play here since I was a child, and I'm sure long before that. So the whole concept is racist.
Love you, Michael. Love you, Michael. That's why I got you on here. Go ahead.
Now, Mike, I agree with that. I'm not saying that there hasn't been an agenda that's been pushed, and there's that the white demographic did not find push, and some black people bought into that same agenda. However, it still falls on us, and this is my issue with all of it.
Let me interject. Let me interject real quick, brother Jackie. Now, I want you to remember one thing that you said. Now, if I get this wrong, you correct me, okay? Now, I thought you said that small percentage of women that could be put in that room, right, as having the brain processing power. I think you said Kamala Harris was one of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even
Now,
though I would vote for, she's technically not an embarrassment.
Okay.
In that room.
All right. So let me finish for a second. If you go back and look at the women that he was talking about, guess who was one of those women?
Kamala Harris.
That's right. So if Kamala Harris, let me finish. If Kamala Harris is doing everything possible that you think she should be doing, not to be seen that way, but yet she's still seen that way, what the hell is people like her supposed to do? To go back to Michael's point, but go ahead. If we're doing everything if we're checking all of the blocks, complete high school, get a college education, not only get a college education, get a master's degree, get a bachelor's degree, a doctorate degree, PhD. If we're to do all of those things, become scientists, if we're go ahead and accomplish all of those things, and then we still have people think that way about us, what can we do? What more can we do?
Nothing. That is part of the problem. We keep trying to look for white people to give us a pat on the back. Who cares?
I ain't looking for look. I'm not looking for no pat on the back. Me personally. No, I know. But I'm speaking for us as black people. We're not looking for no pat on the back. All we're looking for is the same. All we're looking for is the same opportunity that's given to everybody else. That's all. And you said it yourself. Jackie. We can't be average. You said it yourself.
Okay. So what now?
I'm saying the fact that which I've always known, my mother raised us telling us that you got to do it twice as good to get recognized. But just the fact that in a society we have to do that, and it's based on skin color. That's racism. That's racist. The fact that he said he put skin color on it. He said a black woman stole a white woman's slot. He didn't say somebody less qualified or because she's black. No, it's a racist statement. No matter how you shake it down, it's racist. Okay, go ahead, brother.
My point is this: what does Charlie Kirk or any white person's opinion have to do with what I have to go do? And that's where I'm keep going with this.
Here's what it has to. Here's what it has to. Here's what it has to do with. Here's what it has to do with. Do you know how many followers Charlie Kirk has? Do you know how many followers? And do you know who primarily those followers are? They are young white folks. They are young white folks who are one day going to be in a position to hire some of those young black folks that's coming up now. And the poison that he has planted and is still planting, because even though he's passed, his word is going to go on. His wife said she's going to help with that. And Matt, just think about that. Just think about the millions of people that are listening to those words and are believing it because there is no pushback. They're not listening to this conversation that we're having right now. That's the impact.
Let me tell you,
Go ahead.
Why I disagree with that. Because there was a young white 22-year-old man that shot him. There's some young white person. There's a group of white people that are not paying attention to the Charlie Kirk of the world. We only know about his million or so followers. That's a very, very extremely small demographic of people in this country. There's a group of white people that disagree with him, which is the reason why he ate that book.
Well, I wish the hell I had millions. I wish the hell I had millions of people that's going to follow me and pass my word on to their offspring, and then their offspring is going to pass the word off to their offsprings. Do you not get that picture, brother? That's why, look, let me ask you a question. That's why, let me tell you something. That's why we still have racism today. Let me tell you something. A young white child didn't all of a sudden one day when they turned 6 months old, 6 years old, 16, they didn't all of a sudden wake up one day and decide to be a racist. They were fed that shit through people like Charlie Kirk, through the president of these United States that says that there are black jobs. What do you do about that? This man that leads the country, he thinks in his mind that there are jobs that black people should have. Now go ahead.
Do you think that's the Charlie Kirk passing that on the national scale of teaching kids, young people, that 12-year-old kids, that 12-year-old white kids to be racist, or is it the parents and their social and influence?
All of it. All of it that you mentioned.
Okay, but who has the biggest impact? And it's the people right in front of them.
What do you mean?
It's the people right in front of them.
No. I'm right there. Let me tell you something. I worked with a friend, and I call him a friend, military, retired, and he might listen to this podcast. I don't care. He knows it's the truth. I had a friend that we had been friends for years. We'd worked together. He knew who I was. He knows who I am. Do you know he asked me one, and I think he's a racist. Okay, that's a harsh statement for me to make, but I personally think he's a racist based upon some of the things he says. Here's what he asked me. This is a grown man asking me this shit. He asked me, and I didn't go off because I love for people to let me know who they are. And if I go off on them, they're going to shut up, right? He actually asked me, did I think it would be, don't I think it would be okay if a bunch of white people decided that they only wanted blacks either in their town or in their neighborhood? He asked me why that wouldn't be okay. Now, this was like 8 years ago, 8, 9, 10 years ago. We're not talking 20 years ago. This grown man asked me that. This is the kind of shit that's been passed on. It's passed. That's where racism comes from. That's why it keeps going. And here you have Charlie Kirk. Who was good at what he did, and he's still good because, like I said, his word is still going to be passed on. And these young kids are going to eat that up, and they're going to live it. And so these young black people that you're talking about that need to go ahead and do what they need to do to have a fair chance, they're not going to have a fair chance. Go ahead.
Okay. I don't believe we ever gonna get a fair chance, and I think that's I think that's the wrong argument we keep pushing. It's not going to be fair, and that's unfortunate.
And brother, and let me tell you something. And I love you, and I love you, and I love you. Let me tell you this. As long as we have people like you who think the way you're thinking, and you are black, you've been subjected to this bullshit. You've been subjected to it, and you wait. Let me finish. Let me finish. And you are still subjected to it, but yet you're not seeing it the way it is. But go ahead.
Let me tell you the reason. Let me tell you the reason why. And I alluded to this a few minutes ago. The way a person sees me has nothing to do with what I have to go through. And I mean this from when you listen to his family, or you look at the Jews, or you look at the Asian community in this country, they don't give a shit about who's in office. It doesn't matter.
I just did the same way when I went to them.
They don't care. It does not that they don't care. It doesn't matter to them.
Who'd you say now? Say that again. Say that again, brother Jackie.
There's other racial demographics in this country. The Jews, the Asians. I live here in Texas, in Dallas. The Middle Easterners that are over here. They don't care who's in office because it doesn't impact what they have to do.
Let me ask you a question. I'm gonna have to stop you right there. Let me ask you a question. You did a little research. You did a little research on Charlie Kirk, right? All right. Let me ask you this. Did you find anywhere in any of that research where he talked like that about Asians? Now you brought up Asians. There's some stereo. Let me finish, please. Let me finish. There's some stereotypical shit I could say about Asians that he could have very easily played on that was racist. But find anywhere in his teachings where he talked bad about Asians. See, and that's the problem. You got to understand, we black, let me finish. I'm going to let you talk, but let me finish. We black people have been the whipping dog for racism since the beginning. Look, I tell people talk about illegals coming into this country, Mexicans. Let me tell you something. Black people, we are the lowest people on the damn totem pole in this country. We always have been. And as long as we have black people talking like you, Jackie, this is going to continue. But go ahead now, your turn.
Let me say this. Okay. I'm hearing you. I don't think you're hearing me.
I'm hearing you.
I want to sit here and take it. Hold on. I am not going to sit here and tell an 18-year-old black woman. You need to be more focused on racism than you are on focusing on getting your skill set up and going to level up. That's what my point is. We can go down this argument. There's like 3 ways to fight it. It doesn't matter. My point is, we are going to have a conversation with the man in the mirror first. What am I doing? What am I teaching my daughters? What am I teaching the young people that I come into contact with? Bro, I just told a guy yesterday in race practice here. I heard him talking with the woman that he worked at race practice about her job. And I said, bro, go get a skill set that pays in this modern day society. Go level up there. Invest in yourself. You're not responsible for how somebody else sees you. I said last week when we talked about this, go put ourselves in a position where the only reason while we still not in that is left. The only reason left is race. But until we do that, race is not the first thing we need to focus on. That is all I'm saying. I never said racism exists. I never said racial discrimination is not an actual thing. I never said systemic racism is not a thing either. But I can't combat all of it. The only thing I got control of is what I do. And I'm telling young black people, go be in control of what you have control over. That's what you do. And how you carry yourself in your criminal history, your credit score. Keep that stuff squared away. That's it. I don't have to. And I'm not saying that, but let's say Charlie Kirk was straight up racist. It doesn't matter. I still got to get up and go level up every day. There are systems out there we know exist. I'm not taking anything away from that. But I'm responsible my responsibility. It starts and stops with me.
Let me ask you a question. Jackie. Let me ask you a question, brother. Do you think racism has held black people back?
Yes.
Okay, now stop right there. Stop right there. Hold it right there. So we agree on that. We agree that racism has held black people back. Now, let me ask you a question. Did it really matter the qualifications that those black people had? Did that matter?
Are you talking about Are you talking about Charlie or in the past?
I'm talking about the past, the current, the future, unless shit changes.
Yeah. No, those are two different things because I think those are two different things. I believe that.
All right, what do you believe? What do you?
I believe in the past, I would allude to the fact that racism was one of the primary key factors as to why we didn't get ahead.
How far? How far back? Give me a time frame. Don't have to be an exact date. Give me a time frame.
I'm gonna go when I came in the military, 1989.
So
the early 90s, I think that began to shift.
So let's do this. So after 2020, let's just use that as a point. So after 2020, I'm gonna not put word in your mouth, I'm gonna ask you. So after 2020, you don't think racism is holding black people back?
No.
Okay.
Hold on. It's not the primary thing that's holding us back.
No, I didn't say that. No. Let's not get into the Republican shit. All right. This is just a simple question. Let me just So like I said, remember I have this phobia. Let me remember. I have this thing about me. I'm a little OCD with this. I'm black or white. So on this one here, I'm black or white. After 2020, either racism, and I'm not saying what degree, I'm just saying either you think racism is still holding black people back or not.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay, good. All right, I just wanted to point. All right, go ahead. All right, what are your thoughts, Michael?
I agree with something Jackie is saying, but I think the question that got this going was the statement about Charlie Kirk, was it racist or not? Everything about what black people got to do to control our own destiny, I agree with all that. I've said that, the same argument about the Chinese communities and whatnot. They don't care about music office because they have their own bank. They control more of their community. Again, good point. But the issue right now is about Kirk. What is his statement? Is he racist? I say yes. Jack said no. Is it a factor today? Yes, it's a factor. Not as much so in the past, but it's still a factor. Charlie Kirk and his platform is proof of that. Donald Trump and his platform is proof of that. Are they they're trying to hold Charlie Kirk up right now like he's Jesus. And I believe he's worth more dead than he was alive because they want to use him to push all kind of agendas going forward. So yeah, I believe racism is still a problem for us. Not the main problem, but it's still a big problem. And we can have we can be qualified just as much as the difference. But when we are faced with somebody in a position of power that's racist, it doesn't matter. I'm not saying stop doing what you're doing and drop your head and they racist. I give up. No, we still got to fight and keep ourselves intact. We still got to keep pushing and keep our community intact. We have to do more of that. But racism is still a big factor. Yes, I do.
Let me ask you a question. It's a tag on question what you said, right? And along the line of what you're talking about. You and I, the three of us, when Jonathan's on the line here, I think everyone that we've had on this podcast will say we care about the racial disparities in this country. We care about families. We care about how we're perceived in society. That's just my take on it. Could be wrong. But I think that's what I got from everybody. We are, for the most part, productive members of society. Do you believe that the overarching number of us care about racism to the point where we're willing to go work on ourselves, or we just want to sit around and blame the fact why we're not where we want to be on somebody else.
So ask that question again, Jackie, brother.
Do you think that the overwhelming number of black people in this country, do we care enough about racism to change what we're doing? To combat it through our own efforts, meaning this.
Well,
Black men,
yeah.
Black men, change some hairstyle. Black men, change your appearance, change your dress, change your dialogue, your dialect. Carry your stuff, and I don't mean carry yourself like white. No, I'm saying educate yourself on the subject, move the needle in your life and in society. I told y'all before, the worst conversation, not the worst, but when I was a stockbroker, the hardest conversation I I would have would be on Fridays after work, in the barbershop, on Saturday mornings in the barbershop. Talking to us about finances. And I'm looking at the way people that had money, the way they move with money, and the way people that didn't have money, the way they move with money. And the financial intelligence, financial literacy that we keep leaving out, that stuff out in our, that we don't educate ourselves. Do we care enough about that to go make this move?
Well, let me try.
Do we just want to sit around and complain? Do we just want to sit around and complain like, oh, they white, so that automatically entitles them to a certain level of success?
No, I'm not saying that at all.
No. I wasn't asking that question to piggyback or to push back against your statement.
Right.
I'm just asking. It was a tag on question to the point that you were making. Do we care enough about it to go work on it?
And so my response to that is this: even when we do some of the things that you might be suggesting, our hairstyle, the way we talk, the way we walk, our education, all the rest of it, we still have people saying the things that Charlie Kirk says about people like Kamala Harris, the lady last name Jackson, so all I'm saying is, all I'm saying is, I don't think we should stop trying to be the best that we can be. I agree with you on that, as far as we need to do whatever we need to do the best we can. But all I'm trying to say, brother, this is all I'm trying to say, is along the way, be prepared, no matter what the hell you do, to be the best you can be. There are going to be people out there that's going to throw racism into this game, and they're going to hold you back. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's going to happen in every instance.
The only reason that you're going to throw racism in this game as the right person, if I'm leveled up, because you got nothing else to fault. You don't have another default set.
No. You do it because you're racist. You do it because you're racist. You do it because you don't think black women got brain processing power. You do it because you don't think a black man is smart enough to be a quarterback in an NFL or to be the coach of a major league team. That's why you do it. That's why they do it. It's racism. It's plain and simple.
It's not going away.
What was that?
It's not going away.
It's not going to go away. It's not going to go away until, especially we black people and people of color, it's not going to go away as long as we're thinking the same way racist thinks. As long as we think, because we're going to pass that, we as black people, we as people of color, we're going to pass that damn racism on ourselves. We're going to talk about young black men and young black women in the neighborhood and how they acting and how they behaving. We're going to fall right into that trap. And we don't talk about some of the same in some of these other neighborhoods. I mean, when you go into jails, you think the black folk are the only folk you see in jails? You know, welfare. You think the majority of people that's on so-called welfare are black?
No, but guess what? the percentage a lot of times the percentage of us that are on welfare compared to the percentage of them is different. That's what we have to look at. We take out percentage.
There's reasons for that. There are reasons. That's part of the racism game. That's part of the racism game.
No, that's not racism. When you looking at percentages, that is affecting us. We know there's more white people on welfare than on black people. For percentage wise, there's a smaller number of them in their demographic, in their racial demographic. I
would agree with that. But like I told you, the reason for that, racism has a lot to do with it. A lot of those poor people, let me finish. A lot of those poor people that are on welfare, they have a difficult time getting employed. And a lot of it is because they're black.
Okay.
So you fall back on what you can fall back on.
I'm going to give you that too, but there's something over here we heard in our community that you want to will have another baby.
Look, I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to agree with you. That happens in our community where you have these young black girls, these young black women having multiple babies with multiple daddies. But guess where that also happens? It happens in other communities. And I don't condone that. I don't think that's a small thing. I think that's a big deal. But again, you're talking about percentages. In the black community, what percentage overall in the black community, what percentage of these young black women that we are labeling this, what do you think the percentage of them have multiple kids, multiple daddies, not married? What percentage do you think? 25, 30, 40, 50? Or 3 to 5%? What do we think?
I think it's higher than 50.
What was that?
I think it's 50. I absolutely do.
You think it's what? I didn't hear you.
I think it's higher than 50. We can research it. You said you honestly believe, you honestly believe that over 50% of young black women, right, have multiple babies by multiple daddies. You think that over 50% of them do? Hold on. Watch this. 80% of babies born in the black community are born to baby mamas. 80%. Go look it up. You gotta take my word for it.
No. I believe that. I believe that. But what about the multiple daddies? What about they having multiple daddies? Because I think that's what the stereotype is. These young black girls out here, they got 2 and 3 baby daddies. What's the statistic on that? Is it 50%?
I think it's higher than 50%.
So you think it's higher than 50% that young black women out there got 2 or 3 baby daddies? See, I don't know. Yeah. See, I honestly don't know. But for you to think that about but Jackie, for you as a black man you have at least one black daughter, right?
Yeah.
Okay. For you as a black man to think that little of our black women, that says a lot. What is the racist white man supposed to think? If we got black men, let me finish. No, let me finish. We got black men that also believe this racist shit that our young black women are having 2 and 3 baby daddies. And we got no proof. The statistic on the having babies out of wedlock, I agree with you on that one. But this other one, there is no proof. But you're saying that because you believe that. Why?
I just did a Google search, and I got to do more research. But just right off the top, AI.
AI?
Hold up.
Go ahead.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
While they definitive, single percentage is elusive. Studies have shown that the rate of multiple partner fertility, having children with more than one man, is significantly higher among black women compared to other groups. While one older study finding that 46% of black women in study exhibited this pattern.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. No, let me ask you this. So we got this black woman who had, let's just say the black woman had one child out of wedlock, right? So now that same black woman gets married. Now she has 2 or 3 children, wedded. Does that mean anything?
She still got multiple fathers. She still got multiple fathers.
So you'll hold that against her. So you'll hold that against her. You'll hold that fact that she had a child out of wedlock, one child, maybe 2.
Yeah.
You'll hold that against her. And then she got married. She got married and maybe had 1 or 2 more. You'd hold that against her.
I'm not going. Okay. What are you asking? Should we just give all women, black women, a pass? They got multiple baby fathers. That what you think?
No, I'm not saying that.
Because I'm a black father, I should come here and not and because I have a black daughter, I should not say the things that I'm saying.
Well, what you should do is you should, as a black father, you should make your daughter aware of that. These are the things that tend to happen in black community more than, yeah. I agree with that. Yeah. I agree. I do agree with that. I agree with that. But I don't think that we should be talking about it in such a negative way, stereotype. And go ahead. What?
If I committed a crime, if I committed murder at 18, am I still considered a murder with that felony on my record going forward, even though I not killed anybody in 25 years?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think we can start talking about different things that black folk might be guilty of, and we can probably talk a lot about maybe things that white folks are guilty of. I mean, I can throw out all kind of crazy shit. Like, who do you think murder more people, black people or white people? You know, who do you think kill more white people? Who do you think kill more white people? Black people or white people?
87% of white murders that happen are done by white people.
Okay, I mean, so what the hell does that mean? Why are we talking about that? Go ahead.
Murder is a crime of proximity. It's a crime of proximity, not racial. It's a crime of proximity.
I understand that. So why are we talking about these women having these kids out of wedlock? Is that racism too? I don't even know how we got on that, but anyway.
No, it's not. It's not racist.
Oh, okay.
The ability to make a decision that's in your best interest.
Right, I agree with that. And we do need to do a lot more teaching, not just in the black community, but all communities. I agree with that. But back, like Michael said half hour ago, back to Brother Charlie Kirk. I guess my whole thing was to try to figure out whether or not we thought that maybe he might be racist. And it sounds like Michael, I think, I won't put words in your mouth. Sounds like based upon some of the things you've heard that you might you designate him racist. I designate him as racist. Brother Jackie, he says no at this point, I think.
No, I hadn't said. No, I said I have changed my stance that I didn't think initially that he was racist because I didn't follow him like that. And what I heard, that the dates I heard that he had on college campuses, I didn't find some of the things he was saying offensive from a racial standpoint.
I got you.
I got you.
Okay. All right.
That's it.
Okay. All right, guys. I guess this has been interesting. It's been interesting. There were some other things I was going to get to, but hey, loans of Lord willing and the creek don't rise. We'll get to it maybe on one of the future episodes. But anything you guys want to say in closing?
Nothing, Mike?
Oh, I was looking at you.
I'll tell you where.
Not really. Just. No, I'm good. That's it.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Brother Mike.
Let me say this, Pop. I love these conversations.
Me too.
Because this is the reason why. It's not personal for me at all.
Right.
What it does, though, it either forces me to go research and lock in to my stance. Meaning this, it requires me to go educate myself.
Right. Me too.
may not know.
Right.
So through this process, by default, I get better.
Right.
So we're better together than we are apart. And guess what? We will not always agree on subjects. We will not always agree on our stance on this.
I agree.
And that's totally okay. As a matter of fact, we need that.
Right. I agree with that.
With a bunch of people around just like me, it's gonna be a boring room. I understand it. Maybe a little loud at times, but it's gonna be boring. So that is the reason. To me, this is where the change happens.
Right.
This is the ground roots.
I agree.
These are this is the grassroots. We gotta change that system. This is where the change started.
Right.
And so I'm open for it.
Right.
I'm open for it.
Right.
Going back to like my daughter. Listen, my job is to teach not just my daughter. My job is to parlay whatever information that I have and push it out there. That's it. Nothing else.
Right.
And to be even with my daughter, be who I want her to be, who I want her to end up with.
Right.
Have that on display.
Right.
And with that being said, yes, I'm gonna do it in person. I am going to do it in person. There's no such thing as perfection in this world. No. And I don't shoot for it. I just want to be better today than I was yesterday.
Well said. Well said. And I appreciate you guys for coming on and speaking your truths. And I agree with you, Jackie. We're not going to get better unless we do that. And hear from all sides, whether we agree or not. All right, then. All right.
Yeah, we're better together than we are apart. I appreciate you guys.
All right. All right. So, listeners, we appreciate you for listening and joining in. Again, we'd appreciate any feedback that you can give us, good, bad, and different. You can go to our Facebook page, DNA Hardwired, Common Sense Turned Upside Down. Please give us your thoughts. You can also, this podcast is being live streamed. So you can also, once you go to that Facebook page, there'll be a link there where you can join our live streamed podcast on Sundays at 1:00 Arizona time. Again, thank you, my co-hosts. I appreciate you, love you, and thank you, listeners. Love you guys too. This is Pop, Michael, and Jackie signing off. Till next week.
All right, now. Thanks. Yeah, thank you guys for listening.
3, 2, 1, yeah!
Think it through, people.